The Green Bay Packers have a great, long, illustrious history, and Aaron Rodgers thinks he might be the best of all time. Well, I went through the whole list, and here's the top 10 Packers who have ever played in the green and gold. Number 10, starting with Reggie White, won Super Bowl 31 for Green Bay back in the 96 season, had 68.5 career sacks there, and was the Defensive Player of the Year in 1998. White, if you include his Philadelphia years, way up at the top. If you're just going by Green Bay, cracks the list at number 10. Number 9, Bart Starr, played 16 years for the Pack, drafted 1956, and he became one of the great Packers of all time despite being a 17th round pick. An MVP in 1966, led the Packers to 5 NFL titles, including the first 2 Super Bowls with wins over the Chiefs and the Raiders. Number 8, one of Starr's defensive teammates, Willie Davis. Davis played 10 years with Green Bay, 5 titles, all decade in the 1960s, a Hall of Famer, one of the best pass rushers of his era, a 5-time first-team All-Pro. Willie Davis, one of the great players to ever be on the defensive side of the ball for the Packers. Number 7, Paul Hornung. Hornung also played 10 seasons in Green Bay, and while his stats were not amazing, never had a 1,000-yard season, was truly one of the most important players in Green Bay's history. In fact, Vince Lombardi said he was the greatest player he ever coached. The Golden Boy lands number 7 on the list. Number 6, Herb Adderley. Adderley, from 61 through 69, made his mark in Green Bay as one of the premier shutdown corners in the NFL during the decade, another member of an all-decade team. Adderley, not only a great player in the clutch moments, but overall remembered forever in Green Bay as perhaps the finest corner to ever play in Titletown. Number 5, Adderley's teammate Willie Wood, a great safety for 12 years. You could argue that of anybody on that defense over that era, he was the best, a phenomenal tackler. When you look back at Willie Wood, you're talking about somebody who went to 8 Pro Bowls in a 9-year span and was named All-Pro first team 4 times. Number 4, Forrest Gregg, right tackle who played 15 years for the Packers from 56 through 70. Now, Gregg, you could make a real argument, should be right at the very top of this list. He made 7 first-team All-Pro squads, 6 at tackle, 1 at guard when he had to fill in due to injury. That's the greatness of Forrest Gregg, right at the top. Number 3, Brett Favre, came to the Packers via trade with the Atlanta Falcons, and of course, won a Super Bowl, went to 2, 3 consecutive MVP awards from 95 through 97. Hard to talk about the Packers for very long and not talk about Brett Favre. But at number 2, Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers took over for Favre, also won a Super Bowl, 4 MVP awards. Okay, it may be ugly on the way out, just as it was for his predecessor. But Aaron Rodgers, absolutely, without a doubt, one of the 3 greatest Packers to ever put on the uniform. And you could make a real argument he's at number 1. But for me, number 1 is Don Hudson, who played 11 years as a receiver for the Packers from 35 through 45. Nobody was more dominant at the position, never has been, never will be. Jerry Rice, the greatest receiver ever by any metric, but Don Hudson essentially created the position, and for that, he is number 1 on my list of the 10 greatest Packers of all time.